You know that feeling, right? That intense burning sensation when you're pushing your muscles to their absolute limit. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the science behind that exact burn.
Just picture it. You're sprinting, you are giving it absolutely everything you've got, and then bam, a muscle just seizes up. The pain is so sharp it forces you to stop. So what is actually going on in there? What's happening inside your body to cause that?
So, what's the chemical bad guy behind that feeling? Turns out that crazy burn and that sudden sharp cramp, yeah, you can trace it all back to one single substance.
And here it is, meet lactic acid. You can pretty much think of it as the waste product that builds up and causes all that drama in your muscles when you're really pushing yourself.
So what is this stuff really? Well, think of it as a byproduct of your body just going into total energy overdrive. See, when your cells are desperate for fuel, but they don't have enough oxygen to do their normal thing, they have to switch to a backup system. And lactic acid, that's what you get from that emergency switch.
And here's what it looks like on paper. C3H6O3. It's just a simple little molecule built from 3 super common elements: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Kind of wild to think this simple combination is what's behind that intense burn, isn't it?
To really get this, we need to look at the process that actually creates it. Your body has this emergency power mode, and it's called anaerobic respiration. It's what kicks in during those really, really intense moments.
Okay, so here's how it all goes down. You start sprinting. Your muscles are screaming for more oxygen than your lungs can possibly deliver. So what happens? Your body, in its wisdom, starts converting glucose, sugar, into energy without using oxygen. Now, the good news is you get that burst of power you need. The bad news? Lactic acid starts to build up as the leftover gunk from that process.
So how does this chemical buildup actually lead to that painful cramp that we all want to avoid? Let's break down the actual science of the burn.
Right, so as this lactic acid starts to accumulate in your muscles, they get tired, they start to slow down. And if you try to ignore those signals and just keep pushing, that's when you get it, that sharp, blindingly painful cramp. It's basically your body's built-in safety system, slamming on the brakes to force you to stop. Just think of an athlete who suddenly pulls up and grabs their leg. Yep, that's lactic acid at work.
So we've kind of painted it as the villain behind muscle cramps. But it turns out that is not the only place it causes trouble. Lactic acid has another, kind of surprising, dark side.
And this is where it gets fascinating. In your muscles, lactic acid is a temporary problem, right? It goes away. But in your mouth, it's a completely different story. The bacteria in there also convert sugar into lactic acid. But in this case, that acid causes permanent tooth decay. It's the exact same substance causing 2 very, very different problems.
So how do we actually get rid of that lactic acid and make the cramp go away? Well, your body has this brilliant recovery system. It's all about paying back something called an oxygen debt.
And here's how that whole payback process works. When you finally stop exercising, you keep breathing really heavily, right? You're panting. Well, that's your body taking in extra oxygen to do a very specific job. That oxygen reacts with the lactic acid, breaking it all down into totally harmless carbon dioxide and water. Once that acid is cleared out, the cramps just fade away. So there you have it. Lactic acid is a pretty wild molecule. On the one hand, it's a crucial part of your body's amazing emergency power system. But on the other, it's got this destructive side, both in your muscles and, weirdly enough, in your mouth. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other secret chemical stories are unfolding inside our bodies at this very moment?